everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Cynthia, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some of the ways that I've been organizing my ephemera. This has been kind of on my mind lately because I actually injured my hand, and I don't know if you can see really much, but the joint of my thumb is really inflamed, and the tendons are all really irritated, so I'm getting a lot of pain through my hand, and it's kind of out of commission at the moment. So I've been focusing on working on some projects that don't require as much hand intensive things, I guess. So I'm really trying my best here, but I created two folders here which I'll share with you. But before I do that, I did want to go ahead and share the way that I organize my digital prints. I have mentioned it before, but I did get a lot of questions, and some people wanted me to kind of go over a little bit more in depth. So I have two binders that I have my ephemera in. One of them is designated solely for ruby and pearl, and the other one has some other printables in there, which I'll go over as well. But in the one for ruby and pearl, essentially, like at the front in this pocket here, I keep whatever like I've taken out and to work on different projects. I kind of keep it in there, and then once there's too much in there, then I go back and try to organize them back into their folder. I've identified most of the different kits. That's only because I'm in the design team, it makes it a lot easier for me to know where I'm grabbing digital prints from and how to kind of keep track of that and make sure that I know what to mention in the description boxes of my videos. But you can see here, everything is kind of organized by different kits, and if the kit is really big or if I have a lot of prints of it, I'll have just one pocket for only that kit, but sometimes I'll combine a couple kits together. Often, I don't print all of the papers from every kit. I just really pick and choose the ones that speak to me the most, and those are the images I feel like working with. So you can kind of see here, it's pretty straightforward, but that system has really made it a lot easier for me to keep track of how much prints I have going on, and I really try to make it go down before I start printing more. I don't have a printer at home, so that also impacts just how much like I'm willing to print, because if I'm printing, it has to be a lot. So I do go like quite a while without printing for different things. So in this different folder here, so again, same thing at the front, I have a pocket of loose hands that I've taken out for different projects and haven't felt like putting back where it goes, so it lives there till it's too full. And I have some prints from Little Bindy, from Digital Curio, and some other random, I don't remember where those ones are from, but they weren't the greatest. But anyway, mainly I have some from Dust to Roses. So I have all of my really pretty telegrams there. And then these ones are organized a little bit more by kind of colors. And then some of the kits that she has that I really loved. So they're just organized the same way. Those ones are not labeled. Like here I have the William Morris kit, but I have a little bit less of those, so I don't feel the need as much to label them. But it's the same kind of process, and whenever I get new prints, that's kind of how I organize them. So moving forward, I created two different little binders to kind of gather some of the ephemera that I feel like I had in different places, and it was in different bags, and it just felt like I wasn't being inspired enough. So I also have a ton of notebooks that I'm just not using. They're notebooks that I acquired while I was in school, but I'm no longer in school, and I just really don't take notes that often, and I'm really not a list person. So I decided to alter one of those notebooks and make it a place where I can put all of my fussy cutted flowers, and perhaps eventually like any other types of fussy cutting that I do. And with this particular one, it's super easy. What I did, I combined one or two pages, I combined two pages together and then made pockets using like kind of recycling some packaging and using double-sided tape and sometimes some papers and some washi tape. It just really kept it so simple. It's so easy to recreate, but it felt like it was just more inviting. I can really see everything laid out, organized by colors. And you can see here, like I have some empty pockets there, so I'm just going to continue to fussy cut once I can use my hand again. And it'll be really easy to remove some of those extra pages, to remove some of the bulk. And those pages are not going to be lost. I can use them to write letters. I can coffee dye them, or, avocado dye them, and insert them in various journals, or again just to write some notes or letters to some of my pen pals. And all I did to alter it, I used a really pretty printable from Dust to Roses. It's from the William Morris kit, and I just put that at the front. It's one of my favorite ones, and did a little closure. And it's just so simple, but so much more inviting than what I had going on before. So this inspired me to do the same for all the illustrations that I have. Again, all these illustrations were in various places. I had piles of them kind of everywhere, and it's really hard to keep track of just how much you have when you don't see it all together. So what I did here, I had this old atlas. I covered it again with a printable, super simple. This one is from Ruby and Perlexo, and I really it's not to reinforce the spine, but more like to make it pretty. I put some velvet ribbon on there and added a closure again with just a little ribbon. I also did the book corners for this one because the corners of that particular book were a little bit damaged. And I don't mind that it's an alligator type of looking book. That makes me happy. So in there, same concept. I used some papers and some old packaging to create some pockets, and I organized my ephemera in whichever way it felt like it made sense to me. Like I have fairy tale things together and kind of love theme things together. Sometimes it's more by colors. And what I did is I removed a ton of the pages from there. It was one of those books that are bound with twine. So I removed the pages, and then there's pages that are kind of glued in. So I left all the pages that were more glued, and I doubled them. So I glued two pages together to make sure that it was very sturdy. And I really don't feel like the book is going to come apart. It was very sturdy in that sense. And then you can see here, some places I left the maps in the background, others I decided to use some printables to make it a little bit more pretty and less like map heavy. And just really kind of made it make sense for me. It's just so fun to kind of flip through this now, and I feel like it's going to be so much more inspiring for me to know where to find my ephemera, to see it all in one space, and to not have to worry so much about like going through all these different bags I had going on. So you can see here I left one of those pages is not like, I don't have pockets on there. So this is two pages glued together, and that's really like, it's very thick. The papers for this atlas was very thick. That's why I chose to use this one. And I really like the size because it fits all sorts of ephemera, and I can have just one big pocket or multiple pockets, and all kind of works together. So that's the back there, and like you see, there's still room to add more pockets and add more ephemera in there, but really seeing how much ephemera I have, I don't feel the need to get any for a while. I'm all about, really trying to go through what you have before acquiring more. Sometimes it's so easy to want to get more new things, but then you end up with an array, like so much stuff, and it's overwhelming. So this way I felt a little bit more organized and more compelled to really use that ephemera and get inspired for my crafting and my journaling and working on all those different projects that I have popping up in my head. But I really hope that this can perhaps inspire you to alter a book that you have at home, or a notebook, or whatever you have on hand to create your own journal for holding your ephemera. But that's it for me today. I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're all doing really well, and I'll speak to you in my next video. Bye now.